All right, so here you are in your new document. You're following the directions, you're doing everything you've been asked to do, and suddenly they throw you a curveball and you've got to put a graphic in here. Let me show you three ways to put in a graphic, along with me down here in the corner, just for a change. So you've got your your Google Doc. You want to insert a graphic. You got three possible ways to do that. One of those is to go up here to the Insert menu and to go down here to image. You can upload it from your computer from here if you happen to have a squirrel that you want, or you can search the web. Now, I don't have any squirrels downloaded already, so I'm going to go over here and I'm going to search. When I open that up, it's going to let me search from right here. I don't have to open another tab. I don't have to do anything crazy. It's right within my window. So I'm going to type in squirrel. I don't have any other plans for it. I just want a squirrel. So as you do that, you can scroll and you'll notice you've got all kinds of squirrels. Okay, as you scroll, you get less and less relevant, as you've already noticed. But for the most part, you can go on for days looking at squirrels. I'm going to pick one of these up here at the top. Nice fluffy tail. You click on it once, it comes in down here at the bottom and it says one item selected. If you double click on it, it will insert it into your document wherever your cursor is. So here's this cute squirrel. Ah, it took over my document. I don't want that. So I'm going to click on it once and it's going to be selected. I know it's selected because I can see the sizing handles. Okay, I'm going to take it from a corner. I am not going to take it from the side and get it all stretched and skewed and compromise the integrity of the original picture. I'm going to take it from the corner sizing handle and I'm going to maintain the original aspect ratio. That's the size of the picture. That's going to make it look smaller, but like it originally was intended to look. And so I've got my squirrel. It's the first way. Now, with any of these methods, you're going to have three options down here under your picture when it's selected. Inline is going to do exactly what you see here. That's the default setting. It keeps it in line with the text. I can't move it easily. It's going to interrupt whatever it is that's going on. Okay, that's in line with the text. If I hit wrap text, which is your second option, it's going to let me move it around. It's going to be, the text is going to wrap around my word, and I'm going to get this kind of an effect, which personally I like better. It gives you the freedom to move the item, whatever it may be. You also have break text, which is going to break the text, just like it sounds, so that there's nothing before it or after it. It is in between those lines. That's the effect you're going for. That's the setting you want. Depends on what your instructions are and what you want it to do. So I'm going to go with wrap text because that's what I like. And I'm going to look at this very last option. You can determine and tell it how much of a margin you want around it. The default is 1/8 of an inch margin. That's the white space around it. You can have no space around it so that the words come right up next to it and they are right there. That's what you want. That's where that setting is. If you want it further, you want a 1-inch margin all the way around. That gives you lots of space, maybe for a border, maybe for a box you're going to draw, or the instructions you were given. That seems kind of a lot to me, but it's up to what you want to do. And then as you experiment, you can kind of see why 1/8 is the default because it works. Okay, so there's our first squirrel. We did that again from the insert menu. Okay, there's another way to do this. I'm gonna put my cursor down here at the end, and I'm going to use the one here at the toolbar. You hover over it, it says image. You've got, you may notice, the same options. You can insert it, upload it from your computer, search the web, something from Drive, something from Photos, by URL, or by your webcam if you happen to have a squirrel sitting right there with you. Again, I'm going to search the web. Same pop-up. Type in squirrel. Notice I get the same search results. This time, I'm going to pick a different squirrel because I can. I'll pick this one and show you another feature. Double click on it. It inserts it. Here's our squirrel out here in the grass. I'm going to take it from the corner again, make it a little smaller. Now, I just want the squirrel this time. I don't need all this pretty background. It's nice and green, but it doesn't do what I want it to do. So I'm going to double click on the picture, and I'm going to get these black sizing handles. See them? And that's going to let me crop the picture. I'm going to take it from the corners again, And that's letting me say, I just want the squirrel. I'm not changing the picture. I'm just changing the part of it that's going to show. And you can click it and drag it and get it to where it's just the item in the picture that you wanted. So maybe there's multiple people in the picture and you just needed one, or one element and you just needed that thing. You didn't need this other stuff over here. You can crop it. This part that's clear now and not grayed out, that's what's going to show. And get it like you want it. You can click out in your document, and right there you have cropped your photo. You get back to the inline wrap text, break text options, and you can put it again wherever it is that you want to put it. I'll leave this one inline just to be different and put it back down here. Okay, so that's cropping. And if you change your mind, double click on it again, use these black sizing handles. You decide you do need some of the grass, or you need it to be a square instead of a rectangle for the space, or whatever, you can go back in and recrop it. And there you are, right? The last option that you got is down here in the corner where my picture was, and it says explore. This is another way that you can get to more information about what it is you're trying to insert. Now, Docs is keeping track of what you wrote about, which is kind of interesting. So it has generated these topics: graphics, because in the text over here I said graphics, diagram, because again I said diagram, and squirrel, because I said squirrel. So when you click on squirrel from their suggestions, you're going to get web information from Wikipedia and websites and National Geographic and all kinds of information if you needed more. Also going to get images. Look, I recognize that one, and I know that one, and we start recognizing some of the same images that we've seen. You can also look in Drive and see if there's anything that says squirrel. There's really not anything in here that says squirrel except other people's assignments where they've inserted squirrels, so it doesn't help me right now. Go to images. You can find whatever kind of a squirrel you want to find yet again and insert one. Let's have one with a big fluffy tail. Why not? Double click on it, same way. Only now it's going to open up like this and say, do you really want to insert this? Here's where it came from the National Park Service. Image is labeled for use, commercial use with modification. Only select images that you have confirmed that you have license to use. We can. And if you want that one, you can insert it. If you don't want that one, you can click the back arrow and you can go back to your search list of all these images and you can get a close-up shot of our friend the squirrel. If that suits your purposes, here's your squirrel. Once again, you can crop it. You can change the size of it with your sizing handles. And we've got the URL from where it came from and the option to change or remove that photo if we want to. And now we have, hopefully if we've done it right, a really nice looking document about squirrels that has 3 graphics about squirrels that can go in here and take our document to the next level because it's illustrated. We like looking at pictures, and if we put them in correctly, we can have something that looks really sharp. This one needs a little work, but you can see maybe you're talking about 3 different kinds of squirrels or what they eat, or who knows? Limitless possibilities. If we know how to use these 3 features and the 3 different ways, right? We've got all kinds of possibilities. You've also got, let me show you one more thing before I sign off. Here's this. We can go up here and we can crop it to where it says crop image. Now that I've got it selected, and I can crop it in a shape if I really want to. You can also go to image options and recolor it as many different ways as you can imagine. You can replace the image. You can give it all kinds of other features. So now he's got kind of a red tinge to it. You can change the transparency, the brightness, and the contrast, and reset it all the way back to the beginning. And that's here. When you have one set, you can go into the image options and do whatever else it is you want to do to that image. So that's 3 ways to insert an image. Thank you.